What's up to the family? I just decided to go live. Hope everyone is, having a good weekend. I don't know how many people I'm gonna get in here right off the bat, but I got a lot of pressing stories that it's a lot going on in today's society, the climate of society, and we got a lot of things to talk about on this one. So I don't know how many people I'm gonna get in, but just in a little bit right here, I'm about to get into the couple stories that I wanted to cover. Let me get a squiggle with it real quick, family. But I wanted to talk about yeah, let's get right into it. I want to talk about our brother Jason Flannery, a brother up there in I believe it's Akron, Ohio. This brother went to a peace family at Nietzsche. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. Salute to you too. Peace family. And yeah, the brother in Akron, Ohio, by the name of Jason Flannery. He went to a sheriff sale, and this brother purchased the whole entire block, for $5,000. Now, the city up there in Akron, Ohio, they trying to finesse it out of him, get it back from him and say that it's, eminent domain, this, that, and the other. And they ain't even trying to pay the brother, compensate him, because it's to my knowledge and understanding that when you say it's eminent domain, you got to pay a person out for that. And he said they ain't even trying to compensate him, and they do this a lot to foundational Black Americans, even in the past, on up until this day, finagle, large amounts of land from, our ancestors and our people, and never were compensated. This is why we demand those reparations too, in all actuality. But, that's another story. But, they trying to finesse this brother out of that whole entire city block, that he purchased for $5,000, so hopefully it works out in favor of this brother. But, he going down with a fight, he keeping his foot on the gas pedal with it. He ain't just laying down and, laying docile and dormant, letting them, have their way with him. He's fighting from what I seen. I was trying to find a news clip of it, but it was just an article. So I was going to show it to the family, but it was just an article. But hopefully it works out in that brother's favor, that he gets to keep that, city block, because that's a power move right there. And he purchased it for $5,000. That's a whole complete come up, if you ask me. But another thing I want to move right along here and talk about. I don't know, has any of the family heard about, the Oxford Dictionary is putting out a African American dictionary. Now what they doing is breaking down the slangs. They saying African American, but we know they talking about the foundational Black American, because we set the trends, that, move society forward, to the way we talk, to the way we dress, the music, so on and so forth. We drive, society, not just here in America forward, but everywhere, they try to copy and emulate the foundational Black American. So they're going to put out rather a dictionary, African American dictionary. What they're going to be doing is breaking down the slang, the word that we use, when they speak of the kitchen, the kitchen ain't, people that ain't, from our lineage and, down with our culture, they might think a kitchen is just a regular kitchen, but we with the we that know better know when we talking about a kitchen, we mean the back of the neck, the little knot in the hair that, the people get in the back of the neck, that's the kitchen. So they just breaking down, the terms, that we as foundational Black Americans use, but it's called it's going to be called the African American Oxford Dictionary or something like that. So I got the audio and the video of this, and we're going to walk through and talk about it. Let me pull it up, family, just a second. Because I thought that was interesting. Everything, we do as foundational Black Americans, people, they own it. They want to, they want to gravitate to it. They want to know what it's about. And, because we the people that move society forward. But we can't give them all of our secrets, you know what I mean? Because on those plantations, we had our own language, the Tutnese language, and we still got that. But to us, you can't teach it to nobody if they ain't a foundational Black American, and you're supposed to be hush hush about it, but we can't give them everything, you know what I mean? But I feel that this could be a good thing, with them trying to bring out this dictionary, because, because lately, with the thing with the hip hop and everything we do, people are trying to, flipping and remixing and saying that they created it. So, this could be a good thing, so it isolates where these meanings of these terms came from. And it came from the foundational Black American. Just a second, family. I'm going to pull up this audio and video. Let me let this ad play real quick. Fair use, fair use.
The definition of the word kitchen. And I don't mean the room in your house with the refrigerator. Well, a new dictionary can give you the answer. The Oxford Dictionary of African American English will define and trace the origin of words established and reinvented by Black people. It's set to be published by March 2025, and we're getting a preview of the first 10 entries, including bussin', grill, chitlins, and yes, kitchen. Joining me now, Tracy.
So we know all that, family. We as foundational Black Americans, we got, we come up with terms and words at the drop of a dime. And I attribute this, going back to the slave plantations where we had to, create things at the drop of a dime to keep the dominant white society and those white supremacist slave masters out of our affairs and out of our business, so we can move and, correlate with one another, and when we talk about bussing, cutting, that's referring to, us, joking on one another, cutting on one another, bussing. And when we speak about getting fly, all of the family know what that means. Jig, that means that you got that stuff on, you dress to impress, you know what I mean? And then when we talk about, something being hidden, that means bomb, bomb hitting, we talking about some kind of food banging, we got all kind of words that we create on the drop of a dime. When we talk about giving somebody a jewel, that means you putting somebody up on some game, knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, you lacing them up with something. You know what I mean? So we create words at the drop of a dime as foundational Black Americans. I think this, comes from us, strengthening each other, on them slave plantations to where, though, we had to keep the white supremacists out of our affairs. But let's continue with this.
Kitchen. Joining me now, Tracy Weldon, Executive Editor and Advisory Board Member for the Oxford Dictionary of African American English and Sociolinguist. Tracy, thank you very much for coming to the Sunday show. Before we get into some of the words, what led to this project, and why did you think this is the right time to do it?
And I just thought of another term we use when the brothers be talking about, that's a dime, we referring to that woman being a dime. She's a 10, we just create things at the drop of a dime. We so creative as foundational Black Americans, when we talk about, spitting, that means rhyming. We create, a whole bunch of words, at the drop of a dime, to where, though, we just so creative that people are trying to, figure out, what it is about us, because we are special people, and it's proof right here that they create a dictionary all about the terms and the words that we use as foundational Black Americans.
This morning, Jonathan. So the Oxford Dictionary of African American English was really the brainchild of Professor Henry Louis Gates of Harvard University. It represents a collective effort between Oxford Languages and the Hutchins Center, and is led by a very skilled team of lexicographers and researchers, as well as a dozen advisory board members who have been leading scholars of African American language. And the time was right because the collaboration was in place and the funding was there. And now more than ever, I think it's important to acknowledge the significant contributions of the African American speech community to American English more broadly.
Especially at a time when there are efforts around the country to erase our contributions in history writ large.
They try to erase and finesse everything we as foundational Black Americans do, from all the music genres we created, white people try to lay claim to the country, the rock and roll, but in all actuality, we created that. That's why it's necessary that things be brought forth. And I think this, even though they call it an African American, Oxford Dictionary, I think it could be a good thing because, it does isolate to where these terms got created and derived from, even though they don't know that we changed the lexicon of the words we call ourselves. We calling ourselves foundational Black Americans, because that African American thing is just too broad of a term, because we as foundational Black Americans, it's proof right here that they created a dictionary of all the terms that, we started and we talk, as to the influence and our impact on the world. But let's continue.
Our contributions in history writ large. Okay, so let's talk about some of these words that were previewed, such as kitchen, as I mentioned earlier, which is defined in the dictionary as the hair at the nape of the neck, which is typically shorter, kickier, and considered more difficult to style. Okay, first, Why, why kitchen? That's what I've always wanted to know. And then how do you select these words and trace each of their history?
Yeah, so kitchen is one of those terms that actually has sort of remained what we call in group. It has remained more or less a term that is used by and among members of the African American community, but really has not moved outside the community. It is often said that it's because that part of the neck has such a tight curl to it that it represents peas, which of course you would find in the kitchen. And so that is, I think, where the origins came from. But it's not one that has been, at least before now, familiar to people outside the African American speaking community. There are, of course, other meanings of kitchen that are more familiar.
So then how do you go about selecting words? Which words make it in and which words don't?
Yeah, so that really has been a collaborative effort between the advisory board and the lexicography team. But what we've tried to do is really show the...
We change words at the drop of a dime as foundational Black American, just like we could flip up the styles on them, and then whatever we do ends up, gravitating to the rest of the world, and they start trying to, come into what we're doing, when they see us doing it. We set the trends.
That's the African American lexicon. When people think about African American English, they typically think of slang terms, and it's true that African American English has contributed quite a few slang terms to American English more broadly. But the 10 words that were featured in the New York Times article that you have listed here attempt to show that beyond just slang terms, there are vocabulary terms that are representative of the plantation era. There are those that are associated more with religious tradition.
And that's what I think a lot of this, directly goes back to the plantation, because we had to create things at the drop of a dime, so we could move, without the white supremacists being all up in our midst, and them, keeping tabs on us. But let's continue.
Of course, there are food terms. And other, terms that are certainly associated with musical traditions like jazz and hip hop, which are often really strong vehicles for moving those vocabulary items outside of the community into more mainstream society.
So, Tracy, we've got about a minute left, but you also accept public submissions. So how can someone go about that? And what are the criteria for submitting a word? And I want to submit two. Where did I write them down? Oh, here they are. 5011. 5011 is one of them.
5011, yes.
And East Jablip.
Oh, okay. That's a new one. You'll have to tell me about that one.
That means all over the place. Some unknown place.
But I think this is a dope thing, though, family, even though they got to tighten the lingo up, to say foundational Black American, because it's just too broad, saying African American, because we're the ones that, creates the driving force that moves the whole culture, not just in America, but the world for that matter. It's the foundational Black American. And it's, good that they locking down, and saying where these words come from and derive from. But let's move right along. I don't know if any of the family has seen this. I've seen like a crazy video floating around on the internet where it was a pastor, getting up there, shunning and shaming this young Black mom, who was pregnant, I don't know, like at a younger age, he put her up there in front of the masses of the congregation and made her, so-called, say sorry for her sins, this, that, and the other. And, this is a despicable act, if you ask me, because a lot of them churchgoers, not all, but a lot of them want to project, and say people are sinning, call people this, that, and the other, when a lot of their houses ain't even clean, in order to call anyone out. Your house got to first be in order. This is a lot of judgment to be goes on in the church. That's why I'm more spiritual, if you ask me, because, you don't need to, just be a good person. And like, that's all that's really needed. Because a lot of these so-called church folks be the ones, running women, doing all this, that and the third behind the scenes. So I got the audio and the video of this Pastor Lowdown, shunning this young Black sister, who got pregnant at a young age in front of the whole church congregation, and I don't respect that, nor do I rock with it, because, this is life. This ain't TV where everything goes according to plan. Sometimes in life things happen, but you don't sit up there and, shun this young girl in front of the whole congregation, because what this is going to do is make her feel like a piece of shit, in all actuality. That's why I don't respect it, because that pastor calling her out, his house probably ain't even in order. He probably cheating on his wife, this, that, and the other. Hold on, family. Let me pull it up. Just a second. Here we go. Hold on. Let me let this commercial play real quick so I don't get copyrighted. Fair use. Hope y'all can see it because I'm doing it off the phone. I got to learn that OBS studio thing, because I'm not, too familiarized with all this technology stuff, but I need to learn that OBS studio thing. So when I go live, I could just pull, I think I'm on the verge of cracking the code with that too. So I could just pull the videos in here, and talk about it with the family and actually show y'all on my laptop. Called this young girl up there who got pregnant, you know what I mean, and shamed her in front of the entirety of the whole church.
Right in front of
damn shame. No good, Pastor.
I want to apologize to everybody in here because I am pregnant.
And listen to that young girl's voice. You could tell she's feeling shamed and feeling bad about herself, when she might have made, a mistake, because getting pregnant young is a mistake to a certain degree, because that takes away the kids, childhood, and then being able to really go ahead and, do they can still do good things, but it just, it stops them to a certain degree, being able to achieve, all of the greatness inside of themselves. But you still don't get up there and put this young girl in front of the congregation and shame her, you know what I mean? Because now you got her feeling horrible about herself, when having a baby is supposed to be a blessing. So I don't respect this pastor, we need to pull some files and some dirt up on him, that he's cheating on his wife and everything, and put him in front of the congregation and shame his nut ass.
Because I am pregnant.
You could tell the emotion in her voice.
I just hope that y'all all forgive me and pray for me.
In the congregation, they don't asking for forgiveness from them. Who the hell are they? They man and woman just like we are. They ain't God to, place judgment upon anyone, and this pastor facilitated that, because, in all actuality, probably most of the people in that congregation, including the pastor, is doing a little slick dirt and underhanded things behind the scenes. That's what really gets me about a lot of them church folk, not all of them. They ain't got their house in order. And then they want to, tell other people how to clean up their house. You can't tell no one how to clean their house up if your own damn house ain't in order. Now this pastor about to get back up here, and talk. Just a second, family.
They say, as soon as you repent, then you never wait later to repent.
I forgot to get the name of this low down pastor. His name is Terry W. Jackson of True Vine Episcopal Church.
If you sin, you don't wait no 2, 3. You don't wait till the baby come to repent. You repent now. You just don't do it again. But you got to repent. Okay, how you look at it.
I don't respect his methods of shaming that young girl in front of, the eyes of the public and all them masses of people in that church congregation, because they ain't nobody damn judge, nor is this pastor to tell her to repent. You know what I mean? She might have made a mistake, because getting pregnant young to a certain degree is a mistake, but you don't sit up there and chastise her in front of the eyes of the public and the whole damn congregation. You know what I mean? I don't respect this pastor.
You already know. You already know what time it is. I told her. It's not what you think it is. But the church praying for you. We ain't gonna condone your sin now. We ain't ain't gonna do that. Ain't no baby showers going on. That's what you lose out at. You have a baby out of wedlock, ain't no baby showers.
See, they making it like this is a bad thing. This damn pastor running this church like a cult. Who died and made him, the facilitator of how people celebrate their pregnancy and look at their pregnancy. Now he got this young girl looking at her pregnancy as it's a bad thing. I don't respect that because she might have made a mistake because she's young and it might prevent her. Not all cases, but some cases it prevents you from, being able to go to college, do this, that, and the other thing that will benefit your life, but you still don't shame a young person like that in the eyes of the public. So this damn pastor, got a lot of nerve. We need to pull his files. I bet he got a lot of dirt, on him, probably cheating on his wife and everything. You know what I mean? Stealing funds from the church. Most of these pastors in these congregations, they live high on the hog, exploiting all them resources from the congregation, and they never once give nothing back to the congregation. You know what I mean? It's really he running his ship like a cult. And I don't respect this pastor.
That's what you lose out at. You have a baby out of wedlock, ain't no baby showers. And nobody at this church about to attend one.
Telling people don't attend her baby shower. He got a lot of nerve.
Mama shouldn't have one neither. You gotta take care of your granddaughter. You can't get done with seeing. We have no private baby shower. Can't have no baby shower.
It's a lot of programming. I'm not trying to beat up on my church folks because long as you get an empowerment from the church, to each his own, but it's a lot of programming and conditioning that goes on in there in the church. Indoctrination, you programmed and conditioned only to see things one way and don't stray too far from, having a free mind. And this is why I don't really, get into the whole church thing, because they be the main ones, doing the sin that they speak against.
You lose all the pride and glory. You lose all that. You just lose all that. Thank God that God didn't take you out of here.
Yeah, this is enough with this pastor though. But this Pastor Terry W. Jackson, he got a lot of nerve. We need to pull his files and see what he got all on him. I bet he got a lot of dirt, that he don't want spoke about. But let's continue, family. What else do I want to talk about? Yeah, family. I don't know if anyone's seen it. A man got stuck. A brother got stuck, in one of them smart cars. It wasn't even the driver in there. The car drive itself. I guess it came and picked him up, and he got stuck in the car. So, I want to pull that up and talk about that. Hold on.
Happened to me on a Monday.
Fair use.
I'm in a Waymo car.
Look at this brother.
Support. This call may be recorded for quality assurance.
This car is just going in circles. A flight to catch. Why is this thing going in a circle?
It ain't even letting him out.
Look at what it's doing.
I guess he went to a shopping center or something in one of them smart cars, and it's just circling the whole parking lot. The doors is locked. It ain't even letting him out. This is why I say, to a certain degree, technology it's a good thing, but we getting way off into the technology now with this whole AI car that drive themselves, and I think it's getting to be bad. All of this damn technology. You know what I mean? It's showing right here. Because a lot of this technology is now gaining its own mind. And doing things that it ain't even programmed to do. And I ain't no substitute for doing things yourself. I wouldn't even want no car, to drive me, and it's turning the wheel on its own. I'd be afraid it's going to crash. I want the control of driving the car. So yeah, this is scary where they take a technology to nowadays to a certain degree. And they hit us with all of this in the movies, with the Terminator and all of them old school movies, that was the setup, to what's going on now. And, the technology is just getting, way too advanced. You got AI doing things, on its own. I heard even stories of AI denying people insurance, this, that, and the other. And I heard a story not too long ago. I don't know where I heard it at, but an AI system, they was trying to stop it, and instead of the AI system letting them stop it, it duplicated itself to where though they couldn't stop this AI system. It's just way too much technology going on nowadays. But let's continue with this. Brother trapped in a smart car, and it's just circling the parking lot on him.
Support. This call may be recorded for quality assurance.
This car is just going in circles. A
Won't even
flight
let
to
him out.
catch. Why is this thing going in a circle? I'm getting dizzy. Look at what it's doing.
Is it circling around a parking lot, right?
It's circling around a parking lot. I got my seatbelt on. I can't get out the car. Has this been hacked? What's going on? I feel like I'm in the movies.
You to tap my trip in the lower left corner of your app.
Can't you just
I wouldn't even want
you should
nothing
be
like that. I'd be scared to let
take over
something
the
drive
car.
me
You don't need my phone.
to where I don't got no control.
I don't have an option to control the car.
Oh
Mike,
my
I'm really so
gosh.
sorry about this.
Well, can you stop
I'm
this
pulling the
car?
over. I am trying
My
to pull
goodness.
it over right now. Apology.
Won't even let him out.
This is happening to me.
Well, that's scary, family. You know, technology is just getting way too advanced and it's getting scary. You know, man keep wanting to see is the limits of technology and, you know, keep on, you know, kicking the can and furthering technology, you know, when it gets so advanced that, you know, I don't want to put the tinfoil kufi on or nothing, but when it gets so advanced that these, you know, technologies is coming up against human beings, you know, they'll learn quick, fast, and in a hurry. But by then, you know, it'll be too late, you know, and it's negative effects too of having all this damn, you know, 5G all around us. Everywhere you turn to and everywhere you look nowadays, it's a 5G tower. I can't drive nowhere without seeing them towers, and that ain't good for people to, you know, be having around them like that, you know. But let's continue, family. What else did I want to talk about? But that technology, you know, is getting way too advanced. That technology is, you know, going to be the detriment. You know, that's going to be, you know, it's going to be a lot of negative effects and repercussions that come from that, truth be told. Yeah, we might as well get in. Yeah, we might as well get into it. I want to talk about Fat Ho. Anybody, you know, we seen he stepped down, you know, from the BET Awards. Now he's saying he stepped down, but one of the two happened. Either, you know, they fired him and he was forced to step down because, you know, the corporate elite, you know, might have came to Fat Ho and told him, you know, like, we don't want you up there performing because of your latest controversy with foundational Black Americans, you know, we don't think, you know, we'll lose money on that, you know, because that's our target marketing base, you know. So they made him step down, or either he was too inferior and cowardly, you know, to get out there and get booed in front of the eyes of the public, because, you know, it had been a lot of foundational Black Americans at that BET award. So he probably just didn't have the courage to get up there and stand either, or he got fired. It was one or the other. But I think, you know, one thing that we can agree on as a foundational Black American collective, that, you know, that we hitting Fat Joe where it hurts, and in pockets, you know, he's certainly losing money. When you lose work, you're losing money. So we hitting him right where it hurts. And I love to see that, because, you know, Fat Joe thought he was just going to keep on lying about hip hop, where hip hop was created, that it was 50-50, so on and so forth. We can't let nobody just sit up there and, you know, constantly tell a lie when foundational Black Americans were the sole creators of hip hop. Then he had some nerve to always keep, he always made me feel some kind of way, truth be told, about that. But I'm glad that the family has seen it. He always used to get me mad, you know, when he used to throw around that word nigga like that, because I didn't believe he had a pass to, you know, and now people on his bumper about using that word nigga. So, you know, I'm glad to see it, that this is coming forth. You know what I mean? And then he disrespected foundational Black American lineage, you know, calling us broke, this, that, or the other. So what we did was we tapped Fat Joe's ass, you know, we whooped his ass, you know, in order to show him, like a good parent does, when that child gets out of line, you know, that parent corrects that child, you know, in order to teach him. You might have to chastise him and, you know, lay that smack down on him, so to speak, you know, in order to, you know, show him that this ain't going to be tolerated. In the same way we had to show Fat Joe that this won't be tolerated. He's feeling the repercussions of this, what's going on now, you know, him not being able to, you know, go up there because he didn't have a willing, you know, he is making it like he willingly done this, you know, got out there and, you know, just stepped down. We forced his hand in that, you know what I mean? It was imposed upon him by the foundational Black American collective. We done that as a lineage. And I think, you know, that also shows us the great power that we have as foundational Black Americans of getting on code. When we get on code as foundational Black Americans, it ain't nothing that we can't do and achieve. And I want the family to understand that, but that can only be achieved. Things like this can only be achieved through getting on constant codification and being in unity with one another, you know, because we influence the whole world. Once we do things, then other people will start doing them. People that ain't even foundational Black Americans will start, you know, not rocking with Joe, you know. So, you know, Joe gets canceled, because we should cancel Joe, Busta Rhymes, even that Math Hoffa tether, you know, all of these damn tethers that want to come amongst us and steal and tell lies about where things was created from in order to wipe us out. Because in all actuality, they want to move the foundational Black American from the equation. You know what I mean? And we got power and constant codification. I think this was a great shower of that, you know, that we made Fat Joe, you know, step down or get fired from the BET Awards, because it was one or the other. And I think the one thing we can agree on is that we hitting him where it hurts, right in them damn pockets. You know what I mean? Because don't nobody want to lose no work. But Fat Joe didn't willingly, step down. We imposed that upon him. It was our stronghold that done that. Let me get a swig of water, family. Eddie B Media, exactly. Sending white adjacent a message. EDB Multimedia. Yeah, we sending out a message because we got collective power and, getting on constant code with each other. Our constant code and getting on code with one another, that constant unity, that's what they didn't want to see, because as foundational Black Americans, we were expected to be that all-inclusive group that everyone could come, steal from, wipe their feet on, act like a doormat coming into the U.S. And we said enough is enough. We getting on code with one another. We doing that based off of lineage. You know what I mean? We doing that based off of being freedmen, descendants of freedmen. And, this is throwing a monkey wrench in the game because they expected us to be that group that everyone can exploit for their own selfish needs and desires, get to mistreat, misuse, and abuse us. And we said, now, no, enough is enough. And this is the part that, we got people running around here crying and wanting to throw hissy fits, acting like disgruntled women, mad that somebody, they man cheated on them. You know what I mean? This is in all actuality what we doing as foundational Black Americans. We got that temperature on that thermostat turned up to 100 and some degrees on them. We ain't letting our foot up off the gas pedal. And, they hate to see this because they don't know what to do with themselves now. We throwing a monkey wrench into the game. And, we're going to keep this same momentum, and we're going to keep on cold because, we should have been doing this, the Jews don't sit out there and, let nobody disrespect Jewish people. When you get, if you jump out there and disrespect Jewish people, they make sure they tear you down in the eyes of the public and you punish and chastise in the eyes of the public. And we got to do the same thing as foundational Black Americans. We got to make sure when somebody, disrespects us, and comes at the lineage sideways, such as Fat Ho, we destroy them in the eyes of the public, make sure that they cancel, because Fat Joe is feeling the effects of this. You know what I mean? He's too cowardly afraid to even go out there and perpetuate himself to the Black masses. That's why another reason why he probably didn't want to go to BET, because we imposed that upon him. He's too cowardly and afraid. He don't want to get up there on stage and get booed. You know what I mean? Because in all actuality, that's what's going to happen, And then the big corporate elites that run BET, and I think it's a conflict of interest of them still keep on having that name BET too. But that's another story, because BET used to be Black Entertainment Television. How the hell is it owned by white people and still being able to be called BET? They should have to do away with that name. You know what I mean? Because that's false advertisement of them having that damn name BET. Mark Murder, good job, brother. Appreciate you putting in work and this knowledge for the FBAs. Salute to you, brother. Peace, Mark Murder. Yeah, but that's a conflict of interest, you know what I mean? Them still being able to have that damn name BET, because foundational Black Americans, we can't go to no Latino media outlets, and our artists can't go up there and perform. They wouldn't have it. And why? Because we ain't no Latino people. We shouldn't be allowed to go up there, but in the same way, they shouldn't be allowed to come to any of our media platforms and perform. This is why we got to get in front of things and start controlling the media, because whoever controls the media and it controls the narrative to a certain degree. This is why it's important for, people to support, YouTube channels that are really for the Black grassroots, such as myself and other brothers and sisters, because we changing the narrative though now, because they thought that, that they were just going to keep coming and exploiting us, taking what they want to and, removing us from the equation. We were supposed to be that all-inclusive group, but the power ain't in being inclusive. The power is in being exclusive. Everyone ain't invited to this party no more. And they see that. And that's why they running around like hysterical women, throwing hissy fits, crying, and, just doing whatever they could do to try to throw a wrench in the game and derail what they want to call is a movement, but it ain't no movement. It's a lineage, and we getting on code based off of that, and they want to try to redefine what FBA is and what it means, in order to, stop it, because they know we gaining momentum. We made Kamala Harris crash out and burn, because she wasn't offering up no reparations. She expected foundational Black Americans to be that loyal, her and all the Democrats that done this. They expected us to be that loyal support base to them and get nothing out of the deal, when reparations is owed, you know what I mean? And nobody, supports people and gets nothing out of the deal. Where the hell they do that at? We've been that loyal support base to them. So we sent them a message that, no reparations, no vote. And I didn't vote for either damn party because no party got no Black agenda offering up no tangibles for foundational Black Americans in the form of cash reparations. And they want to keep on, saying, well, it needs to be studied. We got to look into it. Who will it go to? It don't go to everybody Black. Just because you Black, it goes to descendants of freedmen, non-immigrant Black people, and all you need is one parent to be an FBA. You know what I mean? And if you could trace that back in your lineage, you were foundational Black American. It can't go to everybody because a lot of these other Black people, even if they are Black, they came here, to capitalize on the so-called American dream. You know what I mean? And we built this damn nation, and it's by far time we get our just due. Our people were enslaved here, fought in every war, shed blood, sweat, and tears on this land, and some of our people came, on them ships from Africa, but many of our people were already here. That's the part that they didn't want us to, acknowledge our lineage of already being here. We were them Black Aboriginals as well, them Black explorers, so on and so forth, and they didn't want us to acknowledge this, and now that we're doing this is why they trying to now so much Africanize us, because it ain't no power in, saying we going back to Africa. They'll let us do that all day, but now you see the kind of pushback we getting when we acknowledging, we're foundational. We were here at the inception of this country. When this country was being built, we were the people that was laying the bricks to build this nation. You know what I mean? So we got to get our damn just due. It's a must, and they can, fight against it, all they want, but we eventually going to get reparations because we ain't letting our foot up off the gas pedal. But I digress a little bit. Back to Fat Ho. He's getting the message right now that, that what he done won't be tolerated. Him throwing around that word nigga like that, and him disrespecting FBAs, coming and lying about the creation of hip hop. It was started 50-50. Everybody had to amalgamate into what we were doing as foundational Black Americans. We set the trends that influenced the whole world. Then everybody wants to come and cosplay and be down. And them days is over with. Foundational Black American created hip hop. It was solely a foundational Black American creation. And another thing I just thought about sitting here, we influenced the whole world. Do you know I've seen people over there in Asia and Japan trying to get those the kinkiness of the hair, like how we get going on, you know what I mean? They trying to get their hair styles like ours. They go through a whole process of trying to get waves. They got to sit there for 3 and 4 hours, to make their hair appear that they got waves or the kinkiness of their hair. You know what I mean? This attributes to our greatness. This is a testament to the greatness that lies within inside the foundational Black Americans. And we're now acknowledging the greatness, and propping up our flags, such as this Black American heritage flag you see behind me in the backdrop. And this is what they never wanted to happen. You know what I mean? They never wanted us to acknowledge us, and be solely about the needs of us. Because when we was being about the needs of everyone, because we were about the needs of everyone, fighting for civil rights and for the rights of everyone, but that was depleting us because these other people give a damn about no foundational Black Americans. Salute to my brother Brian Simpson. He says, speak on it. Salute to you, brother. Yeah, these other groups of people give a damn about helping us out. When we fighting for something, we look back, think other people is going to be down with us. We fall for other people to come over here. We look back, all we see is foundational Black Americans behind us. And them days is over, It's a new day and time where foundational Black Americans is on the rise, and we putting our needs at the forefront of everything and putting the lineage at the forefront of everything. And I'm glad to see, Fat Ho taking that L in the eyes of the public, because we hitting him where it hurts and he's feeling the effects of this. His new album flop, he got fired from BET, or he was too cowardice, to project himself to the Black masses and get out there because he was going to get booed, as he should, because he ain't nothing but a culture vulture along with all of these other damn tethers, Busta Rhymes, Math Hoffa, Math Tether, he said that hip hop was created. I heard something where he was, supposed to be addressing the controversy, which was a lot of tether babble for having Fat Joe up there at his platform. And he even said out of his mouth that he thought hip hop was created by blacks and Latinos. You can miss me with that. Hip hop was solely a foundational Black American creation. C-Style. Black people in California need to prepare for home mandatory upgrades. Call 80,000 in 2033. Call. Yeah, I'm going to touch. I don't know. Home mandatory upgrades. I don't know what you pushing, but if you promoting, you're going to get blocked, C-Style. I don't know if you're promoting a business, but I don't let none of that go on in the chat. So I'm going to monitor you. Yeah, but getting to this other business, I'm going to touch on yeah, let's touch on the California thing with all the smoke and all of that. You know, the wildfires going on, you know. And it's real crazy out there in California, family. And I got some family out there in California. And I just pray and hope that, you know, everyone is all right and safe, you know, and everyone out there, because I'm hearing a lot. I'm hearing that, you know, this whole thing started from a backyard fire. You know what I mean? I don't know how true or not that is, because I'm hearing a lot of stories, you know, at this point. And I'm also hearing that the mayor, Karen Mass, cut firefighters' budget, you know, and gave their budget to the police, you know. And this is very telling that you would do that, you know. So you're just trying to ramp up police enforcement. And most of that police enforcement, you know, where it's going to be targeted at foundational Black Americans, you know what I mean? Because they don't take and, you know, be stopping and frisking and hopping out on people in them white suburban neighborhoods. They mostly bring that to, you know, the urban neighborhoods where we populate, you know, and they can miss me with that, you know, all of that. But yeah, they said that she cut the firefighters' budget and gave it to the police department, you know, and they saying that they was going to fire hydrants and not even being able to get water out of those damn fire hydrants, you know. And I got to put the tinfoil kufi on now. I'm starting to wonder, is this some kind of attack on America? Because like I said, we up in Virginia, they got a water crisis going on with did I touch that yet? No, I didn't touch that. I'm gonna hit on that. You know, in Virginia, they got a water crisis going on at a water plant. People can't even get water, you know, they got a boil water now going on in Richmond, Virginia. And it's just a lot of things going on, you know, that's looking real crazy out here nowadays, you know, and it's all happening right around the time when Trump's coming into office. And, you know, if you want to facilitate a terror attack right now, I got to put the tinfoil kufi on, will be a good time to do it. Why? Because, you know, it's a change of power. So confusion is going to be going on. And if you want to strike on a tip like that, you strike when it's mass confusion going on. You know what I mean? Because these big fires that's going on out there in California, they said it's nothing like this has ever went on out there in California. They said this is one of the biggest that they've ever seen, you know, and they can't even really contain it. You know what I mean? And all of this mass immigration, you know, to put you in mind of, you know, all of this mass immigration, they unleashed the floodgates. So we don't really know who we got over here like that. We don't know who we got over here. These people could be, you know, setting this up, coming from these other, you know, nations to take down America. You know, you never know. You know, we hate to think like that, but you certainly can't leave it off the table. You got to look at every piece on the table. You know, they have unleashed the floodgates, so we don't know who we got over here in all actuality. Larry Brown, Black Fist. Peace to my brother Larry Brown. Yeah, we don't know who we got over here in all actuality. They've unleashed the floodgates, and if you want to facilitate something like a terror attack, right now will be, I hate to say it, but the best time to do it when it's a change of power, you know, and these massive wildfires going on over there in California. You know, it's many people already dead behind this, you know. My condolences to their friends and family, and, you know, RIP. It's many people, you know, already dead behind this. And, you know, and if the actual flames don't kill them, we got to look at the smoke inhalation will kill them. You know, that's lung damage, breathing all that in. You know, respiratory problems can ensue from this, you know, and just a whole bunch of things, you know. And it all looks real crazy right now, because you got to think too, with all of this going on, people, if they ain't got insurance, they're going to have to pay all of that money out of pocket in medical bills, this, that, and the other. And it's all where they can gain from it. It's all capital. It's all capitalized off of in all actuality. So we don't know, like, you know, this thing is looking real crazy right now, if you ask me, you know. It could be, a terror attack, or it could be a play for money, because who stands to gain from this? We got to look at every piece on the table. You know what I mean? And it's all looking crazy. And the fact that they, cut the firefighters' budget and gave it to the police, that's also looking crazy. I'm hearing reports of people, firefighters trying to fight stuff and going to fire hydrants, can't even get no water out of the fire hydrants, and I just pray for those people out there, that people stay safe, and my people that's out there is safe, because this thing ain't looking good. It's certainly looking crazy right now. And if somebody did want to, facilitate attack on the U.S., this will be, a better time than ever. I hate to say it like that, but, it's a change of power, it's confusion. And a lot of things have already taken place, in this new year with that Tesla burning up, you know what I mean? And them terror attacks down there in New Orleans, it's just a lot of nonsense going on right now, you know what I mean? And, people got to, be aware of, because to be aware is to be alive. And we don't know, really what's going on, and I don't think no one is really touching on it. This could be some possible terror attack. We don't know who we got in this country. You allow all this damn mass immigration, it's consequences and repercussions for everything. Every action got a reaction, and you don't know who you letting in here, and what their views and ideology is, and even who stands to gain from this, because now the big insurance companies, they're going to capitalize off of it. People losing homes, property damage. People work their whole lives for a home. And I know it's not all about material, but you lose your home, you done worked your whole life to create, you done losing precious possessions that can never be replaced, memories, and on top of all that, people losing their life, the most worst thing, and you just gotta, we just gotta question everything and think about who stands to gain from it, and could this be something connected to this damn mass immigration, a possible terror attack? You never know, but I think we gotta just look at all pieces on the board, family, but I just want to say, send my prayers to everybody out there in, Cali, that's dealing with these wildfires. Hopefully everybody's safe, including my people. And I'm going to move on from that. I want to touch on what's going on over in Virginia, because that's why I'm saying there's a lot of stuff going on. Richmond, Virginia, they having problems with their water out there. People can't even get, they got to boil their water, and businesses being affected. It's a lot of, wicked things going on in this new year. Just a second, family. Let me let this video play real quick. Fair use.
And even hospitals without water.
I can't wash my hands
Richmond resident Quentin Boyd is among those without water at his home and is now outside of Retreat Doctors Hospital, wondering how this issue will impact his doctor's appointment and others who need medical care.
I ain't seen no words, anything like that. So I guess I know I go there, I'll figure it out.
Retreat Hospital is just one of several medical facilities impacted by the weather and city water crisis. So CBS 6 reached out to each of them, asking how it's affecting their patients. HCA Healthcare Company, I
see video clips on TikTok, people saying people selling water out there in Virginia, a 6-pack case of water, they charging like $10, ridiculous prices. It's just a lot of nonsense going on. And they say that something happened at a water treatment facility, where the water got contaminated. But, in all actuality, we don't know what is what no more. Who stands to gain from all of these crises, and things that's going on. There's a lot of craziness and wickedness going on now. And right now will be a better time than ever, unfortunately, if you want to facilitate something to remove mass amounts of people. You know what I mean? It would certainly be through the water and, disasters such as we got going on out there in California, because, if the fire don't get them damn people, I feel sorry for them. If the fire don't, engulf them, and, burn them up, burn them alive, that smoke inhalation will, because that's playing a part on your respiratory, and one of the most important things, you need to breathe. Everything needs air and everything needs water, and if them two things, you ain't got them two things, it's going to be devastation after that point.
HCA Healthcare Company, who oversees Retreat Doctors Hospital, says as of 11:30 a.m., they were without water and they were diverting patients to other hospitals. They sent the following statement. Quote, "The situation is developing and we have activated our HCA Virginia resources to minimize the impact on our patients." End quote. And Bon Secours, the managing company of Richmond Community.
If you're in the room right now, family new to my channel, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. You know, I'm always putting out fire content and I'm trying to go live more often. I'm trying to get familiarized with the live, you know, because, you know, I ain't used to going a lot live and projecting myself into a lot of people. This whole internet thing is new to me. So, you know, I'm getting better with it as time goes on. But make sure you like and subscribe to the channel, you know, because we putting out that heat in terms of foundational Black American empowerment.
Hospital sent a statement that reads in part, Bon Secours is actively exploring all options for sourcing external water solutions and is taking the following actions. Hospital is on diversion, transfers are halted, facilitating discharges where appropriate, bringing in bottled water to support our patients and staff, and exploring all options for sourcing temporary external water solutions. Bon Secours also shared that St. Mary's Hospital was suspended temporarily Monday afternoon, but as of 7 p.m. Monday, water services there were fully restored and normal operations had resumed. As far as VCU Medical Center, the following statement and alert were shared. VCU Health is focused on the health and safety of its patients. At this time, our Richmond locations are under emergency operations due to the water disruptions. VCU adding that many procedures and appointments have been canceled and will need to be rescheduled. Several of their clinics were also...
This is crazy. People's procedures, they might need some kind of surgery is being, you know, postponed and canceled, you know, because when you hit somebody with, you know, their water, you know, something wrong with the waters and these mass fires that we got going on out there in California, you want to get rid of a lot of people, you know, it's going to be through the water, you know, and this fire, you know what I mean? If they can't get this fire under wraps out there in California, when I'm hearing that could, you know, annihilate that whole California out there, you know, that could take that whole thing away, you know, so hopefully they get that under wraps. At itch, 15 minutes, smart cities, stack them and pack them housing. Yeah, they got to get that under wraps out there, you know, in California, because if this thing gets out of control, ain't no telling what that thing could do, you know, and it's going to certainly be a lot of casualties. So I'm hoping, and, you know, my hopes and my prayers go out there to California that they just, you know, get this thing under wraps. And, you know, they saying that it stemmed from a backyard fire. Now, that sounds fishy in itself to me, you know, stemming from a backyard fire. But they say it's so dry out there that it could do this. But with that backyard fire intentional, you know, I don't know how true or not that is, but that's what I'm hearing. I'm hearing a lot of stories at this point, you know what I mean? From the mayor not, you know, giving firefighters, you know, funding and giving it to the damn police. Where the hell they do that at? You know, it's just, it's crazy out there, you know, and I just hope everyone stays safe out there. You know, I'm getting ready to hop off of here. I just wanted to come on and tap in with the family for, you know, get on here quick and, you know, tap in with the family and see what everyone was doing. You know, hopefully everyone is having a good weekend out there, you know, and if you're going to be out, stay safe, you know, because it's a lot of, you know, wickedness going on nowadays, you know, it's at an all-time high, and be aware of my people, because to be aware is to be alive. And if you in the chat right now, like and subscribe to my channel, family, and be safe out there. Peace.